Greetings and hello to all my viewers. It is November 27th. I remember tonight, of course. And tonight I got a few things we can talk about. Some interesting stuff at that. First off, I'm going to talk about more about the moon this time. I've been, doing a little bit of studying on it. Like, okay, let's say for instance, the moon is 238 miles 238,900 miles away. Excuse me, I'm messing up on that. But it varies from different points, different parts of the year, and all that, as you well know. But, one thing that always makes me kind of, sit back and be like,
Seems like someone's lying.
but, in the instance, I have a photo that I was looking at, and it was taken about 2 miles, 3 miles at a high point, I guess. Not 2 or 3 miles, about a mile and a quarter, something like that.
Let's say that number.
But how can you barely make out on a building? Let's say, for instance, the White House, like I had in my thumbnail for my video. But, it's like you can barely, from like a mile, 2 miles away, you can barely make out the windows. Simple things on a window, you know what I mean? And I understand the radius of the moon. The moon's radius is 1,079 miles around. So that's the radius that I know that was given to me by Google. You can look it up, just type in moon. It'll give you a brief description as Wiki gives it. Don't scrutinize me. This is stuff I'm learning from other people who learned other stuff, who learned it from someone else who wrote it down. Okay, the gravity on the moon is what? 1.622, which I have no idea what m divided by s squared or second, whatever it is. I have no idea. I don't do the math part. I just do the cool part. But, I know it's a lot less than Earth, so they say. But even then, there's a lot of things we don't know about the moon. Like, the moon was gray in some photos. But okay, back to what I was talking about. How can you not make out things that are so close, even with a good camera sometimes, unless you got a big ass extender aperture on that motherfucker, you're not gonna be able to see too much stuff recognizable within our planet's realm. But, the moon's a big place. It's pretty big. It's a big satellite compared to, some things like humans and some of the stuff we built. As far as right now, as far as our civilization is gone. But how can we make out almost every goddamn detail on the moon right now? If the moon was full on some nights, on a clear night, if you live in a clear part of the country, or, like I lived up in Tallahassee, you could see the moon pretty clear at night. You go down to like Key Largo, Key West, Islamorada, in that area, you can see the moon pretty good at night if it's not a cloudy night, let's say. But, what I kind of think about is it ain't making too much sense. I don't think the moon's a fucking hologram. I do think the moon's an artificial satellite that was made. I don't think it was made naturally, of course, because when they pinged the fucking satellite against the moon, it was said that the motherfucker ringed like a fucking bell. And excuse my language tonight. I've had it.
Excuse me.
Guys, who doesn't drink? No, I ain't drinking nothing heavy, just a little beer, but it gets me more or less into the smoother sense. And when I talk about this type of stuff, when I feel like kind of makes you get a little irky towards other people. And I'm not irky towards you guys. I love you guys. That's why I'm talking to you. I'm talking about those who like to oppress, those secret civilizations on Earth, those private societies, those cults who worship idols. May they be false, may they be not. Because they could be worshiping demons, and I believe in demons. I believe in angels too. I don't believe they're as nice as they say they are, thanks to Supernatural. That's my favorite show, by the way. The Winchesters are some of my favorites. But okay. And but just kind of interests me, and anybody else who's recognized that type of thing, please leave a comment. Oh yeah, do not forget to subscribe. I'm saying it nice and early. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Try to put it on either side, whatever you like. Tell me where you want it, and I'm gonna put it there. But make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that like button for me, okay? I sure appreciate it. And tell me if you guys like these cool shades. I know I got like some googly eyes sometimes, but look, I'm handsome. I do have to say that, but I love wearing glasses. That's my thing. I used to wear a hood in, high school and all. I was kind of like that offset cool guy in high school, but yeah. In other news, but like I was saying, be sure to leave comments on if you guys do recognize exactly what I'm talking about with the moon. I mean, I know that's out there that the moon might be a hologram, that the moon's a projection, project, what is it, blue light or whatever it was, starlight, whatever it is, all those different projects. I can't remember every conspiracy. But I don't believe it's a hologram. I do believe it's a physical object, okay? I believe there are bases on them, because I've used very powerful telescopes and I've looked at the moon and I've seen my own activity. I've seen many other things. I've seen stuff that other people have seen. During an eclipse, I've seen objects moving around the moon. Interesting enough. But, that stuff we'll get into on a later date as normal. But, just let me know if you do know something about what I'm talking about. If you can give me a better view on how are we able to see something so far away. I mean, don't get me wrong. 238,900 miles ain't that far. Because there's stuff, 3.9 million light years away. That's pretty far to me. Light years is when stuff gets weird, as you will know. But, it's not that far. It's pretty close. At times, the moon's pretty close to Earth. Almost looks like you can touch it. But, it just interests me how we can make something out. But when you're looking at the moon from Earth, or the moon, when you're on the moon and you're looking at Earth, so they say, what is Earth? That little blue ball where you can't see the bottom of it. Last time I checked, I wish I had something to show you the size of the moon compared to Earth. Let me see if I can find a little doohickey right here. I could always use my fingers. I'm good with my fingers. The moon's about, yay big, okay? So let's say it like that. The Earth is about yay big to the moon, okay? Somewhere like that, you know what I mean? This is Earth, this is the moon. But, I could always put some pictures up too, but I like doing this. It's fun. But, what I've noticed, if you're looking at the moon and the moon's, let's say it's that far away from the Earth, and the Earth's right here in its own earthliness, unless it's flat, then it's like that, but I'm just playing. I'm not a believer that everything flat. I don't think so. It could be. If it is, I'm fucked. But, okay. All right. If you're looking at from the moon to the Earth, why can we never recognize any of our beaches? Why can we not ever recognize any of our continents? You understand? You get where I'm coming from? Why can't we look at the shorelines of Africa? If we can see a freaking crater on the moon, why can we not recognize a simple figure on our planet? We should be able to locate, certain parts of Europe. Be able to see Las Vegas. one of the brightest cities on our planet. I bet Dubai's pretty bright. And I was also looking at another place. But, furthermore, why is it so hard to recognize? Why is our Earth always freaking cloudy when there's pictures being taken? The Earth's pretty cloudy, but it's not always cloudy because I go outside and I got pretty good views usually in the spots I'm in, especially when I'm up north in the country. You're pretty highly elevated. So I can see probably for a good 20, however far you can see in the sky, distance-wise. Sometimes you can see to the border, certain parts of the country, you can see to the freaking border. That's a good 100 miles where a mountains is, using landmarks and all that stuff, or where a certain landmark is that you might be able to see. It might be 50, 75 miles, whatever, close enough. You get what I'm saying. You can see pretty much across the country. You can see, they say you can see up to 25 miles. I believe you might be able to see farther if you're, good enough. But what, always gets me is that. It's some lies being told about distances or something, the actual mileage of the moon, or the actual shape of our planet. Jet Stereo might be a real thing. For a while, I still kind of believe clouds are their own entities. Certain types of clouds, certain types of electricity might be sentient, might have their own, those sprites that blow up upwardly out into space, out into the atmosphere. Who knows? We don't know shit. We know, let's see what Neil deGrasse Tyson said. We know 4% of stuff. Not saying on the planet, not saying in space. We know 4%, period, son. And girl, period. So that means we don't really know too much, unfortunately. But in other news, off the moon, let me see what I could find. I was looking at something. There was a mishap earlier in my home state, Florida. A train actually derailed in Lakeland, Florida. Today's date, November 27th. And state officials are investigating the crash, which means there possibly could be some foul play. But what weirds me out is it's carrying molten sulfur, which, I know we use sulfur for a lot of things, but molten sulfur, I'm really just trying to figure out where the hell were they really going with the sulfur. Tracks only go so far, and then you ship it all over the place. But, it kind of makes you wonder what are in those black cylinder containers that they transport back and forth across our homeland, our freaking state, You never know. What type of radioactive elements do they bring in and out of our rural areas that have leakages that drain into our sewers that eventually get refurbished and brought back into our homes? They were reported, back onto this, it was reported that, I guess, Lakeland's town official, whoever, let's see, but county spokesman Kevin Walter said in the release later, residents are now free to leave their homes. That's too far forward. Okay, I guess they asked, when it happened, it says Lakeland is between Tampa and Florida for you guys who don't know, okay? But it was a CSX railroad. So it was CSX that was bringing, they're very popular, one of the biggest probably industries to run trains for a long time. Try to get a job with them. Did not work out, and I'll tell you why maybe one day. And I'm glad I didn't, because that could have been me who crashed. Hope the guy's okay. But it's Polk County, and they're pretty verbal, pretty good place, very beautiful area, very widespread country, lots of woods, very beautiful lakes. It's a nice place. If you ever come through Florida, definitely go there and visit and see the scenic parts of Florida.